If you watched my previous video about creating a basic Gmail signature, you already know how to create just a really basic text Gmail signature, why you need to create it to be more professional and to worry about some of the security concerns, and really the basic information that you need to include in a signature. And that's great. You can have a text signature. That's a fantastic starting point. But there's a few things that we can do to make a really professional, great looking signature in just a few steps. So let's walk through those. Let's see what it's like to really create an advanced Gmail signature. So I'm once again logged into Google as John Zumwalt. John is a third grade teacher at one of our elementary schools, and he's kind of been my case example for showing you how to do things within your Google account. And before we get started here, I want to show you an example of where we're trying to get. So here is the email signature that I've put together and that I use, and this is kind of the general format that I'm going to show you how to create a professional looking advanced Gmail signature. So when we go into, we're going to go into John's account, and we're not actually going to start off with Gmail. We're going to start off in Google Photos. And that's available at photos.google.com. You can probably also find it under the 9 dots here and find Photos. We need to create a new album, and we click on Albums on the left hand side and Create at the top, and this is going to be a shared album. The reason why this is important, any images that you're going to use in an email signature have to be publicly available so that the person on the other end has access to open that picture for it to be viewed within any email that you send out. So I'm going to create a new shared album. I'm just going to call it Gmail Signature 2019. Alright, so I've got that, and I need to add a photo. So I've got a photo of John Zumwalt downloaded to my computer here. Here is John Zumwalt. Great little guy. He's got some awesome glasses. Makes for a good starting point here. So here's John. We are going to we're going to click on him. So here's his full picture, but we don't need the full body picture. So think about this. If you have a picture of yourself, we really just kind of want that headshot view to work with. So we're going to go into the edit option, and if you look across the top here, the last option allows you to do cropping. So we're going to get this to where we just got kind of his head view there. We're going to pull this in a little bit tighter. This is really the view we want to have in our email signature. So I've adjusted the size. I'm going to click Done. And we're going to click Done again. You can never click Done too many times with Google Photos. So here's our picture. That is fantastic. That's the kind of shot that we want to pull in. So let's go to create a Google Doc. So we're going to go to docs.google.com. We want to create a new document. And within this document, we want to insert a table. But first, let's rename this. So let's call this Gmail Signature 2019 again. This will be our Google Doc to work from. And I am going to go to Insert Table, and we're just going to do a 2x2 table. So this is going to provide the background and the formatting for us to drop all of our information into to work with. And the bottom two cells, we're actually going to merge these together. So if you select both cells and you click and you right click, we're going to hit merge cells. Alright, and I'm going to show you what that's going to be used for later. We're going to come back to that. But first we want to insert our picture. So in this first cell, upper left cell, we want to click inside of that, and we want to insert an image from Google Photos. So we follow that process. Right now, this is the only photo I've got in there is my nice little headshot of John Zumwalt here. So I'm going to click on him, and I'm going to select Insert down at the bottom. So here's John. We can resize this image a little bit. It doesn't need to be quite that big. So here's John's headshot here inside of our planned signature. I'm going to adjust our column over just a little bit here. So we've got a great starting point here. We've got a picture in. Now we need the text. John Zumwalt is a third grade teacher. We know his email address, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to insert basically what we would have put in our text file, in our text signature previously. We're going to throw right in here. But I'm going to make a couple modifications. So I'm going to select all this text. And personally, I prefer Georgia as a font for for this kind of text. So we're going to change that. We want his name to be in bold, and we want to make that a little bit bigger. We want the name to be the biggest thing up there. So I'm going to change that to size 14. All right, a couple more things. We've got some links, things that need to be clickable links in here, so we're going to select those. Here's his email address. I'm going to select that, and I'm going to click on the Insert Link button. That changes it to a mail to, so that when you click on it, it'll send a reply to that email address. We've also got a web address here. He works at Pheasant Point Elementary. I found the web address for Pheasant Point Elementary and type that in here. Again, I'm going to select that. I'm going to click on the link icon, and I'm going to select the Pheasant Point website and click apply. And so now this is clickable as well within an email. One more thing, I like to customize the colors just a little bit. So I'm going to select his name, and I am going to go up here to text color. And I'm kind of preferential to blue, sort of a lighter blue, not a dark one. If you like red or green or whatever, feel free to choose what you like. But I'm going to make that consistent across anything that we have colors on. So I want all of my colors to be the same. So I'm going to have black and this kind of lighter blue here. So these all match now. So we're doing good. We're getting much closer. Next up, John has some social media that he likes to publicize. So he's got a Twitter account and a LinkedIn account that he likes to have in his signature. So we're going to add icons for that. In my notes on the YouTube video is a web address. And if you would pull that up and go to that website, you can see a lot of different options of libraries of social media icons. These have all of the different medias, so Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all those are going to be in each of these sets. What you need to find is a collection that you like, and I'm just going to pick the one that I prefer to work with. I use square shadow social icons. It's a shape and size and feel that I like to use inside of my email signature. So I'm going to select that one. And you can see here's all the popular services and icons. So I want my Twitter icon. I want to download the PNG file for the Twitter icon. So I click on that, and I have to click on the 56 by 56 pixels here right underneath the PNG file. So I click on that. You can see I just downloaded twitter.png. That's awesome. I'm going to go back, and I also want to have a LinkedIn icon. So I'm going to go to the PNG files for that. Click there. So now I've got two icons that I've downloaded. You can download any ones that you want. Whatever items or options that you find useful for you, feel free to download those. All right. Next up, again, these are photos or pictures, so we need to put those into our photo album. So let's go back to photos. We're going to go back into our album here, and I want to add to my album. So I'm going to click on the add button, and I want to select from computer. And in my downloads, I have my LinkedIn and my Twitter images that I just downloaded. So I'm going to open those, and that's going to upload my icons for those. Now that I've got my icons in here, I'm going to go back over to my Google Doc, and I'm going to click in the area right underneath of my web address and insert an image from Google Photos again, and I get this selection over here. And I want to first add my LinkedIn icon and click insert. So I've got that, and I can resize that down to where I'd like. And then right next to it, I'm going to select right there next to it and do the same process again. Insert image from Google Photos. And I'm going to select the Twitter icon and click insert. And again, select it, resize it. This may be the hardest part of the entire process, is getting the two icons to be the same size. So you kind of have to tinker with that just a little bit to get them to match. And we're going to call that good, because you could spend probably all day trying to get those to look exactly the same. So now that we've got our images in, we want these to be clickable as well. So I'm going to select my LinkedIn icon, and once I have that highlighted, I can go to the link up here in the top, and I can type in the web address to my my LinkedIn account. So that'll take you directly to the profile of my LinkedIn page, and hit apply. And then I'm going to do the same thing with Twitter. I'm going to select my Twitter icon. I'm going to put in the address of Twitter for John Zumwalt, and I hit apply, and now I've got all of that clickable. Everything's all looking good here. So we're getting close, guys. A couple more steps. So down here in the next cell, I mentioned that we were going to do something else down here. What I would like to do is for John Zumwalt, he works at Pheasant Point Elementary, and the motto for Pheasant Point Elementary is available from the website. It's developing leaders, inspiring learners, and building relationships. So I think that's great. That's a good motto to have. So I'm going to select that. I want to, again, change this to Georgia font. We're going to make it italics, just so it kind of stands out a little bit as an extra here. But I'm also going to gray this down a little bit. I don't want it to be quite so bright and bold, so we're going to make it a little bit lighter, just so it looks good here. Okay, guys, we're in the home stretch. So last step here, we're going to select all of our cells here, all of our text. We want to get rid of the borders between all the cells in this table. To do that, we're going to select all the text, go up to the three dots up here, and we want to select border width and change that to 0. That gets rid of all of our borders. This is looking really good here. One last step though, I would like to have a little divider bar between my picture and my name and information. So I am going to make sure that I'm in this first upper right hand cell, and I'm going to click this little down arrow here. It's a little bit hard to see because it's really grayed out, but we're going to select that, and I want the left hand border. And that comes in and it's highlighted. Obviously there's no border there because we had set it to 0, right? So we're going to select up in the toolbar border width, and we're going to change this to 2.25. We're getting there. I want to change the color to the same color I used for my colored text, and we are oh so close. Got a great border here, a nice little line in between, got my picture and my text. One last little piece. I'm going to select all the text in this upper right hand column, and I am going to move the indent over. Give us a little bit of space in between that border, kind of similar to the space between the image and that line there. Now we just have to get this over into our actual Gmail signature field. So we're going to select all of this. Just highlight it all. I'm going to use Control-C to copy. You could also right-click and copy. And then move over to the tab with our Gmail in it. Here's John's email. I'm going to click on the gear and go to Settings. And scroll down to that Gmail signature field. Right here we had our previous text-based one from the last episode. I'm going to select all of that and delete it. And then Control-V or right-click and paste drops in the new signature for us. We can leave all of our settings as is for everything else. Go to the bottom, click Save Changes. And now anytime we compose an email message, you'll see that our nice new fancy email signature is right there ready for us to use. And that is how to go make a professional advanced Gmail signature.